Hey guys, today we're talking about lesson 13.4, finding an unknown measure. And we are going to be finding the unknown measure for an area and a perimeter. So there's two different ways we're going to be doing this. It can be a little bit confusing, so I really want you to focus in and pay attention here. What's really important here is to remember how we find the area and how we find the perimeter. So we'll start with area here. Our first one here, it's asking us to find the unknown measure. The area of the rectangle is 36 square feet. So underline that right there. And they've given us one unit of measure, the 3 feet along the side there. And so they also gave us this formula for us to remember, which is really, really good for us to remember. A equals B times H, which is area equals base times height, or area equals length times width. So we'll plug those numbers into the formula to see what we are missing. We have the area, so we will put 36 square feet where that A goes. So I'm going to do it up here in the corner so you can see. Okay. The A represents the area, so 36 is our area. So 36 equals, we do not have our base. That's our question. So we're going to leave our B there. We use variables to hold the spot of an unknown number. Okay? A variable is a letter. Okay, but we do have the height right here, 3. Okay, so now we just have to figure out what is that B? What is that B going to be? So we can do a couple different things. You can do 36 divided by 3. Or if it's a basic fact, which this one would fall in that category, you can ask yourself 3 times what equals 36? Okay, and if you're thinking in basic fact format, it would be 12. Otherwise, you can go ahead with your long division. 3 goes into 3 one time. I'm having a hard time writing right there. Subtract them, get 0, drop your 6. 3 goes into 6 twice, and you still end up with 12. I cannot draw on that spot. Okay, so the base of the rectangle is 12 feet. Okay, now you are finding this length of this side right here. So you are not going to have the label of feet squared. That is reserved for the area. Okay, and so that's how you'll do that. We'll go through a couple of examples here, but I am going to erase my work as I go. So that I can continue to use that little space up there in the corner. While we are talking about area, I'd like to jump to another area problem just to make sure we really get the area part down, and then I'll come back to number 2 there with a perimeter. Number 3 here is where we're at now. Okay, and they've given us the area, which is 108 square feet, so I've got area equals base times height. Now, it also doesn't matter, I'll show you really quick here. They've given us one unit of measure, 9 inches along the side there, and we don't know the other. Alright, so let's start plugging in our numbers. We have 108. That does matter. That is the area. It has to go there. What doesn't matter is if you say that 9 inches represents the base or the height. That part does not matter. It can be reversed, flip-flopped. So in this situation, if you said that 9 inches was the height and you did B times 9, that's not a big deal. That does not change everything. Or if you choose it for the base, 9 times H. Either way, it does not change anything in terms of how you would operate to find your missing number. Okay, so now all you would have to do is divide 108. I'm not going to do that right there. That was a bad spot to write. Divided by 9. Okay, or if you're thinking in basic fact format, you know that 9 times 11 would be 99, right? So 9 more than that would be 108. 8. So again, we would have 12 inches. But if that does not occur to you, go ahead and do your long division. 9 goes into 1, 0 times. 9 goes into 10 once. Drop your 8. 9 goes into 18 twice, evenly. Okay, and you still end up with the same answer. So if you are able to say 9 times what is 108 and it pops in your brain because you've got that fact memorized, wonderful, that's great, that'll work perfect for you. Otherwise, go ahead and do your long division. Either way works, you get the same answer. So we'll do one more here on number 4, and then we'll go back to perimeter and talk about that. I just want to hone in really quick and do a couple examples of area before we try something different. Okay, so now we have the area being 90 square meters. So I'm going to put that 90 where the area spot is. And again, it does not matter if I choose to use this 5 as the base or the height, but since it seems to be the height, I'm going to use it as the height of base times the height of 5. And I am looking for my base. Now, off the top of my head, I do not know that 5 times something is 90. I can't think of the number exactly, so I'm going to go ahead and do my 90 divided by 5. Long division, 5 goes into 9 once. 9 minus 5 is 4. Drop my 0. Get 40. 5 goes into 40. 8 times evenly. Okay, and so my answer should be 18. Now, I also know off the top of my head that 5 times 20 is 100, so I know that 18 is a reasonable number. And there you have it. You're just finding the missing length. And now let's jump back to our perimeter. Okay, now we learned in our first lesson there, when we're finding the perimeter, we can just add all the sides together, or we can take perimeter and say perimeter equals 2 times length plus 2 times width. And in this situation, this would be the most beneficial route to take. Because let's look at number 2 here. We're given the perimeter. When we plug in numbers, it really narrows down what our number could be. So we have our perimeter. We have 44, so we're going to put that in the P spot where perimeter goes. That 2 will stay the same. The length is 12 centimeters, so I'm going to put a 12 there. Plus 2 will stay the same times our missing number W. Okay, now I can start working through. I know I can do this operation right here, 2 times 12. So I'm going to break it down. 44 equals, 2 times 12 is 24 plus 2 times W. Alright, so now to figure out what this W might be, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 24 from 44 to see how much I have left that I need to work with, okay? So 44 minus 24, 4 minus 4 is 0, 4 minus 2 is 2. So now I'm left with 20, I'm going to cross that off, equals 2 times W. And actually I don't need those parentheses now. Okay. Now, I can ask myself, I've narrowed it all the way down. I can now ask myself, 2 times what would give me 20? 20 would be the number of the two sides added together. And off the top of my head, I know that 2 times 10 is 20. However, if that does not occur to you, you can do your long division. Do 20 divided by 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. Oops. Drop your 0. 2 goes into 0 0 times. So 10 would be our answer there for our missing length. Now to check my work, 10, what are we doing for a label here? Centimeters. To check my work, now I'm going to erase this little section over here. I simply can plug in the numbers. Up here where I have W, I don't even have to go all the way through all of this. Okay, where I have my W, I'm just going to plug in my 10. I know 2 times 12 is 24, and 2 times 10 is 20. 24 plus 20 equals 44. So my answer should be, when I add these two numbers together, when I plug this number into the formula, my answer should be the same as what they have for the perimeter. Alright, let's go down the page a little bit here and let's try another one with perimeter. Let's try number 5 right here. Our perimeter is 34 yards and we have 5 yards right here. So, perimeter equals, and in your book you've got this formula, so refer back to it if you need to. 2 times length plus 2 times width. Our perimeter is 34, so I'm putting that in the P spot. Okay. Now, 2 times our length, we're going to say is 5, plus 2 times our missing number, our width, which, again, these are interchangeable. Alright, so 34. Now, we know we can do this operation right here, 2 times 5. So, 34 equals 10, because 2 times 5 is 10. Do it right here. Okay, and now I'm going to try to get rid of this 10, so all I'm left with on this side is 2 times W, and I want to see how much I have left after I've gotten rid of that amount. Okay, so I'm doing 34 minus 10. That gets me to 24. So now I have 24 equals 2 times W. So now I'm asking myself, 2 times what would give me 24? And off the top of my head, I know that that is 12. However, I could also do the long division, 24 divided by 2, to figure out that it is 12. Now to check my work, all I would need to do is go back up into this formula here, erase my W, and do 2 times 12. So now I've got 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 times 12 is 24. 10 plus 24 is 34. That is the same as my 34 yards for my perimeter there. And that's all there really is to it. Okay? This can be a little tricky. We're working backwards here, so today make sure you ask me questions if you've got any. You guys have a good day. Oh, sorry, on your homework, you need to do numbers 2 through 5.